Institutions and big players like BlackRock have been accepting the technology since 2024. They've been putting a lot of attention on the room. You would believe me if I said they've been here for years. They've been here for years because they have. They've been making plans and getting ready. Now that things are starting to change. In a big way, I think these big players are going to make some very big moves. I do want to talk about a lot in this video. Though it's clear that we'll talk a lot about BlackRock, let me first talk about a few other things. That being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. If this video is your first time on the channel, I hope you decide to join by the end. Let's begin with Ripple Swell 2024. The source of this information is Ripple. They talked about how it showed how crypto and blockchain are changing the way money is handled around the world. The future is here, from rules and the growth of simple coins to tokenizing real-world assets and making money available to everyone. The future is here. Here are the four main ideas. There is one more that I will not talk about, and it is the last one. It is not very important. In essence, it's just talking about charity with blockchain and crypto, which is, in a technical sense, a big deal. You know, it's great. But what I really want to talk about are the important things that will make this place grow and make a lot of money in the end. Yes, to begin, they do talk about ETFs, steady coin growth, and even tokenization. Those are the three most important. But there are rules, right? Government rules have been that switch for me. When that switch is turned on, all the big players should be able to play, right? A lot of people still think that Bank of America, Citi, and JP Morgan, along with other big banks, are sitting on the sidelines and watching, right? They're not, though. They're here. With this tech, they've made things and found answers. They can go live because of rules. They have been using, these test nets for everything from testing to trialing, and it's all just testing and trying things out. Take a look at this, all right? Regulating digital assets is still very important. Clear rules about digital assets are good for blockchain innovation in those places. But the US lacks clear rules, which has slowed the growth of the country's crypto companies. Many of the panelists felt that there had been some progress with digital assets like XRP getting clearer rules in the US. In the past, regulatory uncertainty has been one of the biggest problems the crypto business has had to deal with. Here are some quotes. First, we need a system of rules that will help tell the good from the bad and the control from the bad guys or even cowboys. This comes from someone who used to be chair of the FDIC and the original chair of the Systemic Risk Council. They were on the same stage as Monica Long, the president of Ripple. Sheila Bear, and she believed in crypto's potential, especially when it came to real-world asset tokenization use cases, affordable remittances, and disintermediation. She also urged the industry to be open with regulators so that the public and private sectors could work together better and digital assets could be developed. Of course, Ripple is one of those companies that works publicly with some of the biggest names in the business. But there are also crypto ETFs and the rise of stablecoins. We understand that this is getting important. I don't want to spend too much time on this since we've already talked about the stablecoin. We talked a lot about ETFs, but I also want to talk about how reign supreme is used in the real world, right? In the past, acceptance searches have been driven by consumer-focused crypto apps like NFT collectibles. However, early use cases should be seen as a sign of the times. An early stage in the development of technology. It was brought up by Swell that interest in crypto is changing from regular people to institutions. This is happening as trends fade and real-world use cases become more common. Now, they do talk about Societe Generale Forge as an example. This company has used blockchain technology to give customers the choice to settle securities on-chain using their token, by using a bank-grade digital asset custody solution to keep track of their stablecoins from the time they are issued until the payments are complete. SG Forge can give their customers streamlined services while still upholding the trust and safety that customers expect from a bank. By the way, this is just one example of many possible uses for this technology. In this case, they even say that there are so many uses that the internet doesn't have just one company. There are a lot of very important big businesses. Because of this, there will be a lot of very important blockchains. This really does come from Pantera Capital. But now that we think about it, right? Yes, things are starting to come together in a big way. As we think about XRP, even with the stablecoin, I want to draw attention to the fact that Ripple has said they plan to use both XRP and ROUSD along with their cross-border payment solution to make it easier for their institutional and business customers to do business around the world. When we talk about all these big events, the first thing that comes to mind is how quickly mass acceptance can happen, okay? That we are going to talk about. But first, when we really think about BlackRock, the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF is what everyone is looking at. Everyone has been talking about the Bitcoin ETF. Oh, BlackRock is here. They have their own ETF. In that case, they must be buying Bitcoin, right? A buyer might buy Bitcoin through the ETF, and BlackRock would make money from the fees. That's pretty much it, right? I don't think this BlackRock Bitcoin ETF is amazing. It doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Now, if BlackRock was, say, offering DeFi projects through a network in the space, I'd think that was huge because it means that BlackRock is exposing their customers to DeFi. A Bitcoin ETF is bringing people into the space. Okay, that makes sense. Although trusts are being bought and sold, I don't find it that interesting. It's not even close to huge, but the most important thing to remember about the ETF is that BlackRock is here and looking for the next big thing. They are making money with the Bitcoin ETF, but what are they really interested in next? And Larry Fink told us already, right? He first said, I think the underlying blockchain technology is great. Okay, pay close attention to this. No, I don't think that. I think the science behind it is great because the blockchain will help you speed up the transaction process. The blockchain can help you find. To be clear, we wouldn't need custodians anymore if we had a pure blockchain and knew who the buyers and traders were. No, I didn't. To say it again, they're very optimistic about tech. What else? Okay, the next thing that will happen is that financial assets will be turned into tokens. Tokenizing financial assets is what we think will be the next big thing. And that means that each stock and bond will have its own QCIP. It will all be in one big book. You and I as investors will each have our own number, which will also be our ID, if we had. Tokenization, we wouldn't have to worry about crimes involving shares, stocks, and digital money. The most important thing, though, is that tokenization lets us make tactics that work for everyone. Settlement right away. Think about how much it costs to settle stocks and bonds, but if you had tokenization, everything would happen right away since it's just a line item. So we think this is a big change in the way technology is used for financial assets. For those who want to talk about voting and choices, if we knew right now who owned that stock and it was time to vote, each person would know who owned that stock and be able to vote their own shares. They're already telling you what's going on here, so we know again. And even down here, we can see that real-world goods are already being turned into tokens. Positive BlackRock is very positive. They think tech will do really well. They think the next step will be very good. Bitcoin is not the subject. That's not the point. It's not even about Ethereum. Okay. Everything is being turned into a token, and the tokenized system is coming true. Again, I look at both Bitcoin and Ethereum from the point of view of how they can be used for transactions. And if $1 trillion moves through Ethereum, just think about what that would do to the Ethereum network. I think about the gas prices. Okay? That's the reason Ethereum wouldn't work as a network. The public chain is what will be used, which is why I say this. The big institutions have already told us this, so we know it's not about the smaller chains. They want to use blockchains that everyone can see. Ethereum can't work as a public blockchain. Everyone who says no, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Ethereum is not going to go anywhere. The network doesn't work. We know this because when Yuga Labs launched Boardy App Lands in 2022, around April or May, retail users claimed their land, which created a network effect that made gas fees about $2,000 per transaction. That is not being paid for. There are no gas fees on Ethereum that are being paid to move $1 billion or $1 trillion. That is why Bitcoin won't be on our minds when we think about the tokenized market and the tokenization revolution. It's not going to be on Ethereum. It will be on the newest technology. I did say that it's kind of crazy to think about how quickly the internet has changed into what it is now. That's what I think, given how big the bridge is. When it comes to the internet for billions of people, the crypto market will grow at about the same rate, but much faster.